Hey girlies!
Let's go, girls.
So today's video has been super requested. My chin has been so talked about that it has become the third and like fourth most searched thing on YouTube under my name and Google, because I always reference it in videos. I didn't really have cameras, I didn't have a chin. But yeah, I had no chin, so I told me do it.
I had no chin, so I totally understand where you were coming from.
Totally get it. I have a jaw that's not real.
Beautiful.
I was making jokes because I love a good, what's the word, self-hatred, Oh, because I'm very self-deprecating, you know what I mean? And thank you guys so much for making my chin a person and telling me that my chin's gorgeous or that it's iconic. So I'm finally gonna give you guys all the tea about my chin, about my experience having jaw surgery. Today's video is gonna finally fill you in on my life without a chin and just really go through all these old photos with you guys, feel those emotions. This procedure wasn't something just done just for my image. It was done for a lot of medical reasons, which I'll talk about. But for anyone who is insecure about not having a big enough chin, definitely look into chin implants or something like that, injections even. Those type of things would not have fixed my medical problems. Just wanted to give that disclaimer because I know I've been getting a lot of messages about what I had done to my face and it wasn't either of those options. Everyone grab a snack, a drink, do whatever you need to do because I don't know how long this story is. So let's just start from the very beginning. When I was a kid, I would snore so loud. I snored from a young child all the way up until my surgery. A terrible job explaining this, but basically I would snore so loud that you could hear me from other rooms in the house. I could never have sleepovers with anyone because it was unbearable. And any trip I went on with friends, I would always have to sleep in my own room. At my beach house as a kid, I was forced to sleep in a walk-in closet because I literally could not be in a room with someone. So in 8th grade, I would fall asleep in my English class because of a lack of oxygen getting to my brain. Every time I was at school, I was so exhausted and I went to my first doctor. And I thought that the reason why I was snoring so loud and tired all the time was because my tonsils were the size of golf balls. Since they were so big, my oxygen pipe was very narrow. If they removed my tonsils, I would be able to breathe and not fall asleep in class. So in 8th grade, I had my first surgery, getting my tonsils and adenoids removed, and it fixed nothing. Literally felt like you were swallowing shards of glass every time you swallowed. Your breath smelled horrendous. You just were swallowing curdled blood and rotten eggs. It was disgusting. Right after that surgery, guess who was still snoring so loud? This guy. I had braces from 2nd to 9th grade. My orthodontist keeps people in braces for way too long, whatever. On the day I got my braces removed in 9th grade, she told me something about my chin, as you're about to see. This is when my whole chin insecurity started. I remember this day so vividly. It still haunts me to this day because this is when I became so insecure of my chin that I didn't have. When I was getting my braces off in 9th grade, my orthodontist, I cannot talk, final sentence to me was, "Your chin, we can fix that in future years. We can pull it forward so that your face looks more even." And I was like, what the f are you talking about? I never had an insecurity of the profile of my face until she said that. And from that day forward, I became so insecure of my chin, it was insane. So I kept this insecurity to myself and let it literally ruin my life for 4 years. For this video, I pulled up so many old photos. I like to categorize my life pre-chin, mid-chin, and post-chin. So many different rhymes that have occurred. Here are some photos of me with no chin. So I'd only take photos from the front on, usually smiling because when I smiled, my chin would pop out. I looked more normal from the front. I would never take a photo from the profile because that was my insecurity. It was not gonna happen. Also, it looks like I have frosted tips right now. I need to get my hair cut. Love that. I would literally cover my chin with any object I could in like any photo because I was so insecure. Gross. I was just such an insecure little bitch. Like, let's go over some of these objects that I covered my mouth with. In this photo, I have a passport on my phone, ice cream, a watermelon, a condom. Like, what? Just so many random objects that I could get my hands on to cover my chin, or lack thereof. I really started channeling my inner Miley Cyrus and would stick my tongue out because I thought sticking my tongue out made my chin pop out a tiny bit more and would cover it a bit.
I'm in the club, high up perk, with some shades on, that it up.
If you have an insecurity, don't share it with anyone. Most of the time you have an insecurity, other people don't usually notice it. The second you start telling people your insecurities, that's all they're gonna start to see. So keep it a secret, otherwise you're gonna draw more attention to your insecurity and just make it worse. You know what I mean? So the next thing a doctor thought would fix my snoring problem was to get this contraption that would pull my lower jaw forward so that my snoring would decrease and so that I could get more oxygen to my brain when I slept. just the most uncomfortable thing. It was more of like a punishment, and it didn't really improve my snoring or my sleep. It was just like a torture contraption where my jaw was just stuck forward. So if you all at home just pull your lower jaw forward, you'll feel it. Feel that? So I went to another doctor, had a sleep study where they monitored my sleep all night, hooked up to all these wires, and they found out that I woke up 5 times an hour every hour while I slept because I had sleep apnea. And your body stops breathing, so a natural response for the human body, because the goal of your body is to keep you alive. Survival of the fittest, I should have died. So my body would wake up 5 times every hour to wake me up, and it's the reason why I have been tired for all these years, and still am. I'm still tired. So if I got 8 hours of sleep, it would feel like I slept for 5 hours in the morning because it was not a good night's sleep. So since my lower jaw and upper jaw were recessed, meaning pushed back, my lack of airflow was the reason for all of these problems I've already had. So my entire senior year, I had to spend going to so many doctors because sleep apnea is really dangerous and you can die in your sleep from it, obviously, because you stop breathing. The only real way to fix sleep apnea besides surgery is to sleep with a breathing machine. But since I was 18, they were like, this is not a realistic thing for Ryan to go to college and be sleeping with an oxygen tank to keep me alive in my sleep. Me in a relationship in like 1 sec.
Let me get my breathing tank.
This is the sexy machine I had to sleep with for 6 months.
My sleep apnea led to me having really high blood pressure. Most people that have sleep apnea are a lot older, like in their 60s, and they're typically overweight. And since I'm so young and not overweight and not eating so much sodium that would make my blood pressure rise that high, it just wasn't a realistic option for me to sleep with a breathing tank for the next 80 years of my life. People who've already lived half their lives and are happily married, they don't really need to worry about this. But since I'm young, it's like, what am I gonna do? I had to get jaw surgery because my blood pressure was so high to the point where I could have had a heart attack. So when I was 18, I finally went to a surgeon who specializes in the jaw. Dr. R, really, love you so much. And he told me that the reason why my face was growing downwards and looked long was because I was a mouth breather. So anyone at home, if you're watching this and you mouth breathe, stop doing that. It's not good for you. Start learning to breathe through your nose. If you go through your whole life like this, breathing like a fish, I don't know how this works. I don't know science. Your face starts growing downwards. I wish I had the x-rays. My jaw like grew literally down instead of out. Literally triggers me so much. November 2015 is when I knew I was officially gonna have this surgery, and I had to get braces again because for jaw surgery, you have to get braces again because they eventually wire your mouth shut. And having perfect teeth allows for the surgery to go well so they can line up both jaws correctly. It's just a lot. So not only did I spend half my life already in braces, but now I had to get them on again as an 18-year-old, which was the worst. Since I just started my YouTube, I had to keep posting videos and staring at my face with my chin insecurity, now with braces. I have braces for 6 months. Long story, just for something I'm doing, and I'm very excited about it. My insecurity just got so much worse, and my self-esteem just crumbled, and is ultimately why I quit YouTube, because I literally could not stare at my face. And that's really what led to my downfall in depression, because I became so self-aware of everything wrong with my face and so insecure to the point where it literally crippled me and just ruined my self-esteem forever. Like, that's why I have really bad body dysmorphia and so self-aware of my face and just my body. It's really triggering. I'm getting better at it. I've become so much more confident now, so I'm glad I can say that. But the process was a lot. It was a lot emotionally. Getting braces made it even harder to smile with my mouth closed, which wasn't good because I didn't want to show the world that I had braces in photos. So every time I smiled with my mouth closed, my chin just really shriveled up. I just started covering my face once again with every object I could find, like a margarita or a beer, a sweatshirt, a bandana at Coachella, my hand. Here's a photo that I face-tuned into what I thought I was gonna look like after surgery, and it's pretty accurate. Let's just look at this. I was such a good face tuner. So during this time I became so depressed because I hated how I looked. I was going through a lot emotionally. All my friends were at school. I was still at home. So it was really hard for me because I just felt like I was going through this all alone, and it was the worst time of my life. Yeah. So when May came around 2016, it was time for my surgery and I was so excited. So I finally took a photo of my profile and said RIP to it because I was not gonna miss it. So this surgery is a big procedure. You can't just get a jaw overnight. It's a lot of work. Surgery itself was like 9 hours or something. They had to cut my upper jaw into 3 parts and my lower jaw into 2 and then slide my chin forward. My upper jaw was cut from the first 4 teeth there, up, and then the back obviously, and then slid forward. My lower jaw was cut here, And since it was done internally, you can feel it, but there's no scars, which is amazing. 2 screws right there, that was slid forward, and then my chin was cut there and then slid forward a little. It's still my bone, you know what I mean? Like there's no plastic in me. All my real objects just slid forward with a metal plate. Honestly, I wasn't worried for the surgery because I was so excited to get it because I knew it was gonna literally fix half the problems I had. I was so excited. Did I tell you guys that I was excited yet? Because I was really excited. But the worst thing about this surgery that I will say is the worst thing forever, truly the worst pain I've ever gone through, was the fact that I had to have a catheter. And if you guys don't know what a catheter is, get ready to be shook. Catheter is a contraption that goes in your urethra, that goes in your urethra. I can't say that word. It allows your body to drain urine while you're in surgery. I didn't know that men could have something shoved up their ding dong. I was shook. So that was the only thing I was scared about for this surgery. I didn't care that my jaw was gonna be sliced and diced. I was only scared about a tube being shoved up my ding dong. Since the surgery is 9 hours, they had to catheterize me because it's a long surgery. That's a long time to be under. Took it out before I woke up, but the thought of a nurse going and grabbing my ding dong as I'm unconscious and then just like shoving a tube in it makes me cringe a little bit. And I'm so sorry to nurses out there that have to do that. Like that's so spooky. Since nothing's supposed to go up in those areas, when they pull it out, you automatically have a UTI, and that will still be more pain than my jaw being cracked in half. So instead of icing my face and worrying about the most important thing, which is keeping my face from swelling, I worried about having to pee lava because I didn't want to be recatheterized while awake. So that's what I spent my entire recovery in the hospital doing, was trying to dribble out urine in my bed into a bucket, and it was the worst experience. So I swelled up a shit ton after the surgery, as you do when your whole face is cut in half. My upper lip swelled so much to the point where I looked like the Kris Jenner meme. I don't really remember much of the healing process, but it did go really well. My surgeon likes to use me as his poster child because he's never seen someone heal so quickly. So the next month of my life, I had rubber bands keeping my mouth wired shut. I had to just talk like this. I had to eat a liquid diet for a week. And then a week after, they took some rubber bands off so I could open my mouth to like this far. The second my mouth could start opening a tiny bit with rubber bands, I started just shoving food down my mouth and swallowing it whole, which isn't recommended because you can choke and die, but I don't care. Since your mouth is shut for so long, literally a month like this, your mouth isn't used to opening. So the second you start removing rubber bands, your mouth is literally stuck in the position the rubber bands put them. You can only open it like this much. And I had to do workouts to build the strength up in my jaw, to open my jaw fully like that again. Couldn't chew food for probably 3 months after that surgery. I didn't really experience any pain because I took my pain pills. That's what they're there for. So when people complain about pain during a surgery, I don't really get it. I think they're not doing something correctly because having your jaw reshaped and cut open is a lot of pain. But since I didn't really feel it, I don't really sympathize with a lot of people that complain about their wisdom teeth. When I got my wisdom teeth out, I ate an omelet an hour after surgery, okay? Your jaw is a big surgery and I was just chilling. I was watching the last song just levitating on the couch, floating from my pills. The second you allow pain to hit is when you can't get rid of it. So that's why you need to take any kind of pain medicine on time, but like an hour before you're supposed to take it. Once I finally had my rubber bands off and wasn't on pain medicine anymore, I started drinking again. So like 3 weeks after the surgery, I would go out to parties that summer, super swollen. I mean, probably shouldn't. It's in a very fragile state, so you don't want to do anything stupid when you're drunk and like bang a wall or like have someone punch you and, you know, move your jaw. Anytime you get surgery on a body part, it can shift into a different position, so you want to be careful. I just felt like such a more confident biatch. Even though I was swollen and had braces, I don't know if this is sad to say, but that'll probably be like the happiest euphoric feeling I'll ever feel in my life. Your biggest insecurity that you spent probably 8 years of your life worrying about and trying to cover and hide being fixed, along with health problems being fixed, was a huge, exciting thing to happen for me. So what sucks is after the surgery, you're supposed to keep your braces on for like another 6 months, which was super lame because I wanted my glove to be already done. Like after all this work and you finally have the outcome, you're like, I want my face to be, you know, finally done and have my braces off. Luckily, was able to talk my orthodontist into getting them off 3 months early, and the second I got them off, I was just grinning in every photo, all the time. I posted a video of me smiling to my Instagram, which I would never post. Just really shows how much this did change me. The next 6 months of this, after I had my braces off, you still have to go through routine checkups, just like you do before the surgery, where you go in like every month. They take so many photos of you, so many CAT scans of your brain and head. Just a lot of work goes into it. Moral of the story, if you guys are insecure about anything, I am all for going under and recommend fixing it if it will improve your quality of life, make you a happier person, and it's done in a safe manner. My surgeon was the best in LA, probably the best in the country, and super expensive. And since I did have such a big medical problem behind it that could literally ultimately lead to my death, it was a very logical procedure to get done, and that was just God's way of giving me what I wanted. Like, thank you. I literally asked my mom if I could have a chin implant just to even out my face, not even for medical purposes, and she was like, no. And I was like, cool. So thank you, God, for, you know, giving me all these medical problems and making me have to get this surgery. My quality of life has improved so much. I don't snore anymore, which is shocking. I can have sleepovers. Anyways, thank you guys. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope it helps someone out there who's thinking about jaw surgery. Make sure to give this video a like if you liked it. If you didn't, still give it a like. You know how it goes. Make sure to turn on those post notifications and subscribe so that you know when I post a new video. Today's commenter of the week is Grace B. Thank you so much for watching, girly. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.